Welcome to my new YouTube video. It's about Pluto re-entering Capricorn and what that might reflect and how we can constructively work with these energies. And I'm Verena Borell. I'm an evolutionary astrologer and a channel. So my astrological knowledge is based in evolutionary astrology by Jeffrey Wolf Green, but I expand and deepen astrology or evolutionary astrology with other branches of astrology. And I also add on my own intuitive insights and the insights that I received from the Akashic field, from the Akashic records. So in this video, I want to set Pluto re-entering Capricorn into the larger context of the energies that are reflected by transits of this year. And first of all, I want to say again, I say that very often, that the planetary alignments, the movement of the planets in the sky, the so-called transits, are never causing anything. They don't cause energies or things that are happening. The planets and the transits reflect and indicate energies that are in the field and that are part of our individual and collective evolution. So astrology is such a powerful and beautiful and wonderful tool because we gain clarity by seeing the planets in the sky so that we can understand what we are seeing, what we are feeling, what we experience with more awareness, with more consciousness. Okay, I'm recording this video on June 11, and today Pluto re-enters Capricorn after it moved into Aquarius in March, and at the same time, I think 45 minutes later, Mercury enters into Gemini. I want to start with the fact that Pluto re-enters Capricorn after this short period in Aquarius, and then talk more about Pluto and Mercury, Pluto and Saturn, Pluto and Jupiter, Pluto and Venus, Pluto and the Lunar Nodes. That Pluto was in Capricorn since 2008, and it moved for the first time into Aquarius in March this year, 2023. And now it goes, because Pluto then turned retrograde, and now it re-enters Capricorn. So it goes back from 0° Aquarius into Capricorn. And then next year, I think in January 2024, it will go back enter Aquarius again, and then go back into Capricorn. So we have this dance. I don't have the exact dates, but it doesn't matter. I want to talk about the energies for now. So Pluto is today on June 11th re-entering Capricorn. What does that mean? I have the feeling that we are in a huge up-leveling process. And I've already talked about that in many videos that I recorded over the last months. But it's not about lifting off the ground, leaving our body, taking quantum leaps. It's about a slow but steady and sustainable up-leveling process, expansion and growth. We are not allowed to take shortcuts or to superficially escape into or spiritually bypass into higher spheres and escape into higher spheres. It's about leveling up, an upgrade and an awakening process in and with the body and the earth. Pluto going back into Capricorn, and before we have this huge and long period with Pluto and Aquarius, I have the feeling that it's so much about not lifting off the ground, not destroying our body and the earth. It's about really allowing ourselves to grow and to evolve in a pace that is sustainable so that we can take our whole system with us. And that includes to heal trauma that is still stuck in the body. That includes to really dig deep what conditioning, what outdated rules, what rules and roles that are too tight and don't allow ourselves to breathe, Aquarius. We must look at all of them on many layers. Healing is a multidimensional and multi-layered process. And Pluto now moving back into Capricorn reflects that we are invited, or that maybe you have this intuitive feeling, or maybe things happening outside that show you, okay, look at these patterns again, dig even deeper. Now with Pluto over the last weeks and months since March, you gain fresh perspective. There was so much happening, especially when we had in March this whole stellium in Aries. There have been so many initiations, new things coming up, new insights. Maybe you gained a completely new feeling for yourself and for your life. So now you have these fresh perspectives, new insights, and maybe you got a glimpse where you want to go, where you want to be over the next years. What role do you want to play inside of this collective awakening process? Maybe you came in touch with your abilities as a healer, as a person who does not only want to heal themselves, but also want to contribute to the healing of the world. Maybe there has opened up something in you, a seed came to the surface, or that you felt it, that there is a seed inside of you, that there is more, that you are here for more. And now it might be the time to really go back so that you can cultivate all of these new abilities and new skills and new perspectives on your lives and new ways to live on a stable ground. Because often when we try to expand, and this is even a somatic thing, when we want to expand and we expand, there comes a feeling of contraction and restriction. And maybe a part of us, a part of our body, is able to expand and wants to grow and to open. But then, because we might have experienced trauma, our body and our system contracts. And there are parts inside of us, inside of our body, that are tightening up, that are bracing. Because expansion, growth, evolution, going into new directions. That means that we leave the known. And that feels very insecure, especially when our system is traumatized. And I think, looking back at our past lives, looking back into our history, and looking into our society, how it is now, how unnatural we are living, many of us, or maybe all of us, are traumatized. That means we experienced situations that have been overwhelming for our system, so that we are stuck in a trauma response, fight, flight, fawn, or freeze. So it might be very important, Pluto and Capricorn, to look back. What are still our, what are still inner fears, restrictions, where we are bracing when we want to go further? What rules and roles do we still have in our life that are unnatural? Where do we still push ourselves? Where do we still have these internalized beliefs? How we must work, how we must perform, what success means, where we must be fast and quick and produce and consume, how our very unnatural society shows us how we should be. Where do we have self-expectations that are not in alignment with our future self, with our higher self, with our soul self. And maybe it is now the time to look what holds us still back. And it's not about, I'm not talking about self-sabotage, so that you limiting yourself and that is so bad. No, maybe there are things in your system that need more healing, that need even more healing on a spiritual, on a somatic, on a soul level, so that your whole system holistically is ready to continue your journey, to expand, to grow, to evolve. So it's about a lot of compassion and a lot of awareness about your own healing and up-leveling process, because we are up-leveling and we are healing, and that means we are healing with our body and we are awakening in our body. What is really interesting too is that now that Pluto re-enters Capricorn, the ruling planet of Capricorn, Saturn, is in Pisces. And in Pisces, it's about self-compassion and compassion. It's about surrendering. It's about the release of outdated structures. Really this washing away, this healing, purifying, clarifying our ground, our soil, our soul. It's really about this deep, deep trust. And it's about taking time. Take your time. It's not about quantum leaping. It's not a race. It's a slow but steady walk. It's important to give our system all the time we need. And maybe that confronts you with fears to survive, because you are working in a business where you have the self-expectation or the expectation from others that you constantly have to produce. And I know that not all of us are in the position to change these external situations, but I want to invite you that you can, maybe in the little things, maybe in the few hours that you have for yourself, the few days that you don't have to work to earn money, that you allow yourself to take your time to align with the natural rhythms of your body, to allow your body and your system to rest, to heal, and if you are in the position to ask for help to support your whole system in this healing process and in this deep, deep, deep deconditioning process. We are in such a huge collective and individual deconditioning process, and that takes time, and matter needs more time than spirit. So even though you have maybe the thought that you understand all of your problems on an intellectual level, and you know about your soul's journey on a soul and spiritual level, and your spirit is really eager to level up and to expand, maybe your body is not yet ready, and that's okay. It's not about leaving your body. Your body is your divine tool for all what your spirit and your soul want to experience and create and share and do here in this incarnation. So Pluto, ruled by Saturn in Pisces, taking your time, the dissolution and the dissolving of outdated structures, the letting go, the washing away, the healing, trust the process, alignment with what is really true to you, what is really, and having lots of self-compassion. Grieve what wants to be grieved, grieve about all the different facets and versions of yourself that you maybe must let go in order to birth yourself anew. What is interesting too is that on the day today, June 11th, when I'm recording this video, this all happens at the moment. So Pluto is now re-entering Capricorn. And Mercury just, I think, less than 1 hour later, enters into Gemini. After months with Mercury in Taurus, because Mercury went retrograde in Taurus, Mercury now enters into Gemini. It's its first home sign. It's a mutable air and yang energy. And I think it's so interesting that we have this planetary alignment, because I think this month, Mercury will stay in Gemini for 1 month, really allows us to gain a fresh perspective. So Gemini, learning, curiosity, having an open mind, embracing our multiplicity, and seeing all of the different opportunities, and just being very curious. I think always Gemini is the Gemini archetype, and Mercury is very much about this curiosity that brings us into this life and that drives us. So this human and this human ability to be curious. When you look at children start to evolve because they are curious. They want to learn, they want to explore. And our Gemini curiosity can really help us. And Mercury in Gemini as a morning star, Mercury is in its morning star phase after the retrograde, really helps us to gain a new and fresh perspective on our old Pluto and Capricorn topics, to really look at our deeper conditioning with a fresh view, to write our story anew, to really decondition on a mental level and invite new thoughts, new ideas, see new opportunities, learn things that might support us on our healing journey. So then I think it's really interesting that Pluto is squaring the lunar nodes the whole year of 2023. At the moment when I'm recording this, the lunar nodes are still in Taurus, North Node, and Scorpio, South Node. So this reflects that it's all about these deep death and rebirth processes, the composting and really this digging deep so that we can cultivate on a new and healthy ground our new life. And then in July, the lunar nodes will move into Aries and Libra. So the North Node is then in Aries and the South Node in Libra. And Pluto will square the lunar nodes exactly, so by degree, in the last week of July. And Pluto is then in Capricorn. So we have this cardinal T-square between Aries, Pluto in Capricorn, and the South Node in Libra. And I have the feeling, and I want to just bring your attention to that alignment, because I think that doing our Pluto and Capricorn work again is really important to bring to bring healing into our relationships. So when we really decondition from this idea, so we could have this idea that we must fulfill always the expectations of others. We must stick to the rules so that we are loved. We maybe are just loved if we are living and showing up in a very certain way. So when we play roles, then we are loved and accepted. And this Libra South Node is all about, really letting go of this idea that you are here to fulfill the expectations that others might have or might not, because in Libra we often think others have certain expectations, but we just think that they have expectations and they actually don't have these expectations. And it's all about coming into our self-sovereignty and self-authority. So Pluto and Capricorn, when we really let go of these outdated rules and roles, and when we really feel what is true for us and what feels in integrity and in alignment with us, and when we really allow ourselves to let go of these old internalized structures, how we should be, And when we allow ourselves to set healthy boundaries and really, stand our ground and become more and more the person that we truly are, then there can be so much healing in our relationships. When we come closer to this feeling of, yes, and I'm allowed to set boundaries, and I have the somatic capacity to set boundaries, and I can stand and I can hold myself when others maybe react when I'm setting boundaries and when I'm showing up. So there's lots of work to do, that you feel that you really develop this inner feeling of safety and this inner feeling of security, and even on a somatic level, a sense of safety, so that you are able to set boundaries and to hold yourself within the process that might happen after setting boundaries. So all of these Aries and Libra fears around being rejected, not being loved when you show up as you are, and so on. And you can just do these Aries things, go for your individuate and do your own things, and bring your own spirit into the world, and initiate, explore yourself in a new way, when you feel some sense of stability inside of you, and when you are the authority of your own life, and when you act in a self-sovereign way and are not feel like being pulled back and forth by the expectations of others. And another thing is, I think really important to think about, is that Venus will start her new cycle in Leo in August. So Venus will go retrograde in Leo, and then in the midst of August will start her new 19-month cycle in Leo. By the way, I will hold a workshop about the Venus cycle in Leo, retrograde, morning star phase, underworld phase, evening star phase, the whole Venus cycle in Leo on July 14th and 15th. And this workshop will be held in German and English language. So I invite you, you find all informations below, to join me in this workshop. We will explore all of the potentials of this Venus in Leo cycle. And this Venus in Leo cycle comes after a Venus in Capricorn cycle. So now in June, we have still Venus in her evening star phase, wrapping up her Venus in Capricorn cycle that started in January 2022. And I think that there is so much about Pluto now until January 2024 in Capricorn, while Venus is starting her new cycle in Leo. What is going on? I think Venus in Leo is about self-expression, stepping into the role of being the creator and the creatrix of your own life. It's about inviting play, inviting joy in your life, really taking up the space you need to self-express, to let the light of source flow through your heart into the world. That is Venus in Leo. And we can just play and self-express if we have a stable ground. Capricorn, Pluto and Capricorn. So a child will never play if it does not feel safe. So if you don't have the inner security and the inner safety, and are very aware about your conditioning and can decondition and really have a sense of self-authority inside of yourself, then you can play, then you can go on stage, then you can self-express, then you can have fun. And I see that even in my own business. I know that I have to work really on some fundamental structures inside of my business, how I structure my business, how I set up certain processes so that I can have more joy and fun and ease and lightness and create with more ease and flow and self-express with more ease and flow. When I set certain foundations on a structural level, external and inside of me. Okay, take a deep breath. I think that was a lot and enough. Maybe I hope that you gained maybe bigger and wider perspective on things that you experience at the moment in your life. And I would love if you like the video, if you share the video with other souls, if you comment below the video. I think it's always so, or not, I think, it's always so interesting for me to see how it resonates, what I'm feeling, what I see in the sky with your experiences. And if you want to dig deeper and if you want to have my support on your personal journey, on your soul's journey, feel free to book a one-on-one evolutionary astrology session with me in German or English language. I would really love to support you on your way, because I think that the healing of the world starts with the healing of the individual, and I'm here to support every individual soul and maybe you in your slow but steady up-leveling and awakening processes. And if you are a healer or a space holder and you work with other souls too, and you want to learn astrology as an additional tool, because as I said at the beginning, astrology is so magical because it gives us more clarity about the things that we see and that we feel and that our clients see and feel and experience. So knowing about astrology and learning astrology and having a deeper understanding about astrology can help us as space holders, as a coach, as healer, and so much to support our clients on a soul level, on a holistic level, to create even courses, circles, ceremonies, and group offerings in tune with current energies. And if you work one-on-one, to really support your clients on a soul level. And if you are interested in learning astrology as an additional tool for your work as a space holder, as a coach, as a healer, I highly recommend you my astrology courses in German language. I have the Astro Space Holder Starter course. That is a video course that you can do at every time you want. We have regular live integration calls. So it's a combination between pre-recorded videos and 4 times a year live integration calls. It is more if you feel like you want to learn more the astrological foundations and the basic astrology knowledge to start to integrate astrology into your work as a space holder. Or you want to join, if you have some astrology knowledge, you are maybe interested in my Astro Facilitator live program. We start this summer, very soon, and this is a live program where we really experience astrology. So it's all about embodied wisdom and astrological intuition, so that you can really support your clients on a soul level very holistically. And we go really deep. We work with the astrological archetypes, with astrology in past lives. We have regular transit classes where we really experience the current transits together, so that we bring together what we learn on a left brain side about astrology and what we experience on a right brain intuitive side. And I bring in some embodiment work around astrology. It's a yeah, it's an awesome program. And yeah, if it calls you, please feel free to send me a message, or you find all the information. You can sign up already. There are a limited seats, so it's a very small group. So yeah, have a look. And at least I want to invite you to my Venus in Leo cycle workshop that takes place on July 14th in German language and on July 15th in English language. For sure, you get the recording. We will talk all about Venus, the whole Venus cycle, the Venus gates, how you can work as a space holder and healer and coach, especially for self-love and embodiment coaches. The Venus cycle can be so supportive. Yeah, how you can work with the Venus cycle, how you can share the Venus cycle knowledge with your clients to support them, to strengthen their yin energies. And we will talk about all the Venus and Leo topics and how we can really flow and sync and create and love and live together with Venus in the next year, or in this whole 19-month cycle that starts in August. You find all information below the video, and thank you so much for watching this. Thank you so much for showing up for yourself, for being curious about your own journey, and I send you so much love.